Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, and also gain real wealth in the process. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 42,020, down nearly 1%. Ethereum 2859, down about 1.56%. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. Rule 774. Master yourself to master the market. Our community focuses on real wealth. Real wealth is much more than money. Money is, of course, incredibly important, but also fearlessness, purpose, fulfillment, and meaning, inner and outer peace. Those qualities are also important to living a life with real wealth. Rule 120. Best to be warned than unaware. I've been in the financial markets for more than 30 years. One thing that I have seen, very few news outlets or crypto influencers tend to warn their people about upcoming problems, or they tend to warn them all the time. Being excessively bullish or excessively bearish is never a good thing. We're all about the middle of the road. In fact, this community was born out of the lack sincerity about where prices could go in the crypto market. I started this channel because I wanted to let people know, to give them early warning systems and to give them a heads up. Early warning systems prepare us for unseen opportunities. This is all about Zone 3 of the KS Zone analysis, the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. Zone 1 is the fear zone. A lot of hope and luck and praying in that particular zone. Zone 2 is the blame zone. Zone 3 is the patience and rule zone, where we use probabilistic fearlessness and early warning systems to make more informed decisions. Zone 4 is the meaning zone. It's all about inner and outer peace, authenticity, fulfillment, and meaning, of course. We use early warning systems to identify when we can buy much lower. For example, $10 to $5 is a 50% fall, and $5 back to $10 is a 100% increase. Institutions buy at $5. This is really what early warning systems are all about. They're not about fleeing the market. They're about getting in at fantastic prices. Our community is all about institutional thinking, not retail thinking. Institutions are always thinking about how to optimize buying decisions. Early warning systems prepare us for buying like institutions. With the China issue that's happening at the moment, this is all about getting us prepared to buy like institutions. It's actually a fantastic opportunity. These opportunities don't come along often. When they come along, we really want to take advantage of them. I've been really busy collecting the different questions that you ask. A really important one was, if China comes in and confiscates crypto, how would it possibly do that? Many members in the community think this is not possible. And let's have a look into it. Let's see if it is actually possible. You may have possibly come across this particular table. One thing with me, I always go to the source. I'm not really interested in what anyone has to say unless I can dig up the source materials. Who holds all the Bitcoin? I'll make sure that this link is in the description of this video. Chinese government holds 194,000 Bitcoins, around $10.75 billion worth, and there's a source here. That's when I get excited. I love sources. I'm all into traceability. Note this 194,775 number. I've clicked on the source. Now we want to find that number, that 194,775 number. We can see that this has indeed come from here. Now, what is this all about? I've read the article, so I'll just take you to the major things. It's behind criminal masterminds behind a crypto Ponzi scheme that swindled more than 2 million people for around $7.6 billion. Now, please note, this is November 27, 2020. Now, what do we notice about this? That's that 194,775 Bitcoin. Now, what do we see here? The seized digital currencies will be processed pursuant to laws, and the proceeds and gains will be forfeited to the national treasury. That means confiscation. Why don't they say that they're going to reimburse the 2 million people? That's not the focus of this particular article. There's a little bit more digging here that is required, but it seems that the Chinese government did in fact uncover criminality, as what they are reporting, and has actually seized this crypto. So you can see that it is actually possible to seize crypto. Any government can do it, and they do it. And China is very talented in surveillance. It's probably the most talented country in the world for surveilling its people. This links really well back to point 4 of the document that we analyzed several episodes ago, which said the resulting losses are borne by any people that are related to crypto, the investors, the traders, the exchanges, whatever it is, the resulting losses are borne by them. As soon as I read point 4, I knew it was all about confiscation. You can see that the Chinese government has confiscated crypto in the past. Many other community members talked about point 7, fake news. Here we go with the China FUD for the 10th time. It's fake news. I'd be a buyer here. And there's a lot of other information. Now, really, what is different? The Financial Times had a really good article. China expands crackdown by declaring all crypto activities illegal. The real important thing here is that they were closing a loophole that remained after the May banning of financial institutions. They're targeting overseas cryptocurrency exchanges and declaring it illegal for them to provide anything for the Chinese people. It's really important to understand each time China bans, it's tightening the noose further and further on crypto. Now, why would it be doing that? It's always a question of understanding the motive behind things. It's almost like you're a detective when you read the news. Who benefits from this? Now, there are a couple of ideas that were brought out in this Financial Times article. Basically, the People's Bank of China wants to trial run the Digital Yuan in the 2022 Winter Olympics, and it's bringing out, says another person, China is saying, well, crypto is no good, just go to our Digital Yuan. And this is what we covered off in the last episode. That is more than likely. I was also contacted by some community members that reside in China, and they thanked me very much for doing the special. What happened here was that there was a sell-off in the USDT to China pairing. Basically, that means that for $100, people were panic selling, getting out of USDT. Wu Blockchain said that the Chinese community is worried that fiat transaction will be stopped tomorrow. This was around 8 hours ago, leading to panic selling of USDT. These are the things that I warned about. It's really good to be aware of issues. I'm very grateful to the people in China that reached out to me and thanked me for that analysis. Not many people have actually covered the USDT angle. What is unfolding here will take a while to play out on the global stage. We're seeing the first shockwaves of it. We're really early because it's an early warning system. A very well-respected community member also contacted me, and because it's private, a private message, I will protect their anonymity. That they say this China ban is not something we should ignore. The most recent happening this month in China, where the locals were not able to create KuCoin accounts. China is targeting KuCoin now. The retail investors in China are seeking asylum on DeFi and DEX through VPNs. I thought a lot about the VPN issue. The concept of a VPN is that it masks the IP address and encrypts the traffic. China is very, very intelligent when it comes to surveillance. They put so much money into it. I'm absolutely positive that they can detect who is using a VPN and who is not. We've also had a little bit of news about different companies in Hong Kong and China relocating out to more crypto-friendly zones. I'd just like to bring something to your attention, something legal. Central management and control provisions exist in all legislation. Basically, if people move their company, so for example, you can make this personal. Say you had a company, or you just create a crypto company, and you say, I'm going to invest this or set this up in the Cayman Islands. The government where you reside knows all about tax loopholes and things like that. It says, where do you live? This is all about central management. Do you live in the Cayman Islands? If so, okay, that's fair enough. You're not a resident. But if you live in the country that's not the Cayman Islands and you're a resident there, you have central management provisions that will capture you and pull it under local jurisdiction and laws. Central management and central control, they're two different things, but they relate to the fact that people can't just hide a ball under a shell and move it over somewhere else. They literally have to move out of the country as well. I just wanted to let you know this. Very few people understand that part of the law. I believe that the China issue will play out in the coming weeks. We may have a bit of wavy up and down price action, and that we want to take advantage of. Let's have a look at investment substitutability. The S&P 500, the proxy for stocks, over the past 12 months, up 36%. Gold got its hug. It is recovering. Everybody needs a hug. Bitcoin up 292% for the past 12 months. We always focus on the technicals. That is what it is all about. We can see crypto total market update. What are we seeing here? We've got negative air above the current price action. The current price action has also decayed below that level of support. We also had a level of support coming in here, which has now turned to resistance. The total crypto market, we're talking over 12,000 tokens, over 12,000 cryptos, is currently under resistance. This is what we have been anticipating. It's also important to think that this is the weekend. What happens on the weekend is traditional light trading volume. When the markets open and the institutions come in and play, that will give us some very decisive understanding as to what is happening. A community member reached out and said, Ken, would you mind analyzing crypto total market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum? Absolutely, I'm always here to help the community. What we see, crypto total market cap, this is called total. You can see it up here. Total is everything. Let's have a look at total and start to dive into the other totals. Total 2 is crypto total market cap, but excluding Bitcoin. We can also see here we're under problems. We're getting negative air and more negative air. This is a technical breakdown. Let's have a look into total 3. You can see total 2 here if you want to put in your trading view. I've left links in the description of this video how to get trading view. Total 3 is crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum. What we're seeing here, a tight, very tight resistance line was broken, and now it's under duress. It's selling off, and we can see, let's do a little bit of pattern recognition on this. We can see if we drew a kind of a tight-ish support line through here, we can see it actually broke about 12 hours ago. Each of these candles is 4 hours. So about 12 hours ago, it met resistance and is starting to sell down. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. We can see also Bitcoin is under duress. This very tight resistance line drawn down here, we can see Bitcoin is starting to retrace. We've had some negative air from this particular resistance line. And if we do the same thing that we did on total, what does that mean? Where is it coming down? It's literally testing its support right now. It does have another level of support just below it. It may bounce, it may come up, retest this resistance line and resume down. The really critical thing, we just look at the price action. We know that Bitcoin has a lot of resistance above. It has the $45,000 resistance. These two key arithmetic and logarithmic resistance lines coming into play at around $45,723. It also has substantial resistance at $50,000 and above that. When Bitcoin gets above around $52,658, it should rocket. But a lot of people in the community are really scared that they will miss out on a move. If you're really scared you're going to miss out on a move, there's nothing wrong with taking a percentage and putting it in crypto, but just do so with the understanding of the early warning system and the messages it's giving out. Let's have a look at Ethereum. We can see Ethereum is being supported in its current price, but we've got a lot of negative air coming in to price action. With Ethereum, we do have a lot of support at the 2796 mark to the 2609 mark. The real key that we need to look out for, what happens when the institutions open up on Monday? What are they going to do? Institutions typically like to trap retail and take their money, which is not very nice of them, but unfortunately that's what happens. They may increase the price. We have to be aware of these factors. They may tank the price. It is unknown. All we can do is look at the technicals and saying, how is the actual price action playing out? When we turn to the KS model, the crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we're in the bull market psychology phase. We've had definite turbulence, but the bull market structure is in play. That's really important to be aware of. We're expecting lower prices. That is fine, but the overall bull market structure, we believe, is intact. On the KS model, we account for black swan events. They're these lightning bolts. We can see lightning bolts occurring everywhere. This is a normal part of financial markets. They're really important to be aware of and plan for. Why? Because we want to buy near the bottoms of them. We can't, of course, buy at the bottom. But typically what happens in a lightning type situation, you will get capitulation. Capitulation is a basic inverse of euphoria. Euphoria is this blow off top. Capitulation is a blow off bottom. When we look for those, they give us a lot of confidence that all the selling has been exhausted and there will be a rally up. This is really, really important stuff to understand. That's what we're going to be looking for. There are also a number of issues in the markets, for example, Evergrande and the Chinese real estate market and the potential for default across that particular sector. We've got the Fed and its tapering. We've got many things. Basically, we just look at the markets and look at what the markets are telling us, having an awareness of the early warning system. One very good piece of news, in the main markets, the bonds are not exponentially increasing. In fact, they've recently sold off. Now, why should you care? You say, I'm not in bonds or stocks. I'm just in crypto. Fair enough. And we all are. Crypto is the game, best game in town. What typically happens before a market crash, which brings everything down, including crypto? That's why we look. Crypto tends to crash first, which is another reason that we need to be very, very aware of what the stock market is doing. Before these crashes, the bond prices tend to rally and go up the wall, and then the crash occurs and everything crashes down to earth. That's why we look at bonds. We can see that's not the case. This is really positive for the stock market, but guess what? It's really positive for crypto as well. That means any potential sell-off in the crypto space could be muted, and that's fantastic news for us. For example, if bonds were going up the wall like this now, and China said, okay, we're just going further and further, closing one loophole after the next, after the next, after the next. If we were in this phase, we definitely have to worry about everything because it's an early warning system. This gives us a lot of confidence. This is actually quite good. When looking at the fear and greed index, we can see the fear and greed index is currently 27, which is fear. It's been a while since the index was at extreme fear levels. Extreme fear levels are typically the best levels to buy at. We think institutionally inside our community. Many community members have reached out and said Rule 109, enhanced pattern recognition, is so helpful for them. Thank you for letting me know. I'm really happy to dig more into it. Let's have a look at the top 8. Looking at the top 8, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Binance Coin, XRP, Doge, DOT, and Sol. What do we see with Bitcoin? We see negative air. This particular peak couldn't even get back to that resistance line. It means it's very much under pressure. We drew a line in here, if you go back to previous episodes, and said this was a pretty key level. Price has since been rejected from that level, creating more negative air. We just have to be aware it is the weekend. Low trading volumes. Ethereum, we can see negative air below that resistance line. Negative air is a term which basically says that the upward price momentum is decreasing. We always look at negative air as a way to understand the health of any particular crypto. When we look at ADA, ADA's been doing really well. It's been on a bit of a tear, but it struck this resistance line, and the same line it's being rejected from as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those same lines are this one here for ADA at 234. For Bitcoin, it was 44,264. For Ethereum, it was 31.97. Ethereum didn't make that line. If we look at Binance Coin, it is also under duress and way below the key level of 394.20. Having a look at XRP, XRP is being also rejected by this resistance line. We understand that. Basically, what happens to Bitcoin happens to all the other tokens and cryptos throughout the crypto space. It's unfortunate that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We know that very well. We can see that play out all the time. What we see here is that XRP is below that 10415 level, quite a key level. Let's have a look at Doge. Doge was doing well, rallying up, as also were the other ones. It's really, really good to compare coins or tokens or cryptos, whatever you'd like to call them, to each other at specific points of time. We can see the sell-off that occurred just here where I have the cursor. You can look across all of the different cryptos in the top 8, and it gives you an understanding how it impacted everything. You can see from that point, ADA did really well. It continued up, whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum, Doge, and pretty much the rest of them decreased. Okay, let's keep going. When we look at DOT, we can see this key resistance line at 3281 has not been breached yet. There is a key support at 2875. Oh, 2845. Okay, let's have a look at Sol. Sol is also under resistance. When we look at this, we understand what the technicals are telling us. The market hasn't repaired damage yet. When it does repair, we're going to go in very, very hard. Let's have a look at Sol more deeply. We can see this 152.69 is a key level. It's been rejected from that level. There's a level of support playing in at 138.08. That's also been rejected. We can see technical Sol is under technical pressure. It's broken its technicals. It's basically confirming another leg down. We'll keep our eye on all of these things. We know how volatile crypto is. We're really seeking to see what happens when main markets open and the institutions get involved. Let's very quickly look at Tether. In the futures market, the open interest is really, really low. Remember, Tether is worth over $60 billion. There's literally no open interest here. That is a very good sign. That means that the sell-off between the Chinese currency and USDT is coming under pressure, but we've not seen it anywhere else in the globe or across the globe. It's not perpetuated in here yet. We really need to keep an eye on things. Another thing to bear in mind, if you wanted to buy your beloved crypto with USDT, when you can transfer money into USDT and then you buy your crypto, somebody's going the other way. They want the USDT. They're exiting that crypto. When you hold your crypto, it's got nothing to do with USDT. You can transfer it to anything else. Just have a look at the pairs. I'll just upskill you a little bit on how to look for this information. Say we were looking at Solana, at Sol. On CoinMarketCap, we go into Sol, and then we go into the Market tab. You can see USDT, USD, BUSD, Bitcoin. If you ever got caught holding Sol, you could transfer it out of Sol into these different pairs. For example, it could be UST, USDC, which is the circle. You could also push it across to ETH. You could push it to Bitcoin. There's a large number of things that you can do. If the Tether stablecoin situation worsens, it's not really the end of the world in terms of you being able to convert crypto from one thing to another, but we do need to look after it. We do need to be aware. For example, how about Tezos? What's happening with Tezos? We look at the market and what is it showing us? Bitcoin. If we have a problem with Tether, it may cause Bitcoin pairing. So these things to be activated instead of going back to USDT for example, and you saw what was happening in the China market just recently, they could transfer into Bitcoin or potentially ETH or potentially fiat. Like, there's a lot of things that you could do, but just keep in mind, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the top for a reason. That's why we may be seeing less of a decline in Bitcoin and Ethereum in comparison to the other alts, because we may be having some cross pairing from China. That is quite possible. In order to increase the speed of this video, I'll just go really quickly through this. We can see that the stable coins are flowing into the crypto market, but less are flowing into Bitcoin. That's suppressing its price. Total open interest on the futures market has been decreasing. Here it's around 13 billion. Let's get the current update. It's around 13.46 currently. Over the past 24 hours, there's been about 172 million of liquidations across 55,168 trading positions. Over the past 12 hours, 82% of those were long. As it's the weekend, we've got a lower level of liquidations because the big players are not involved. Looking at Bitcoin options, if we go to October 29th, we can see the max pain price 45,000, total open interest 23,554, put call ratio 0.44. Doing the same for Ethereum options, we're looking at the next major options expiration. Max pain price, where the majority of the options expire worthless, is $3,000. Total open interest 165,656. Put call ratio 0.47. We can see a lot of calls up here towards the $8,000 mark, but these are really cheap to buy at the moment, so let's see how it plays out. Turning to the top cryptos from CoinMarketCap: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Tether, Binance Coin, XRP, Solana, USD Coin, Polkadot, and Doge. Let's have a look at the greatest gainers over the past 24 hours. We can see Chainlink, AMP, Ravencoin, FTT, One, and we're starting to see a lot of stable coins in there. As a gem, what this means when we see stable coins being amongst the highest in the past 24 hour, it's showing us that there's a sell-off in process. Looking to the greatest gainers over the past 7 days: Stellar, Cello, Tezos, Luna, Ren, XTC, and now stable coins. This is very telling. It means pretty much the crypto market hasn't moved in a positive direction in the last 7 days. There's been quite a big sell-off. The greatest losses over the past 24 hours, Huobi token, of course, because of the crackdown, Nia, Atom, File, Ren, Cello, Elron, Rune, Luna, and AVAX. Going the other way and looking at the greatest losses over the past 7 days, again HT, Serum, Filecoin, IOTA, EOS, Sushi, Rune, Audio, ICP, and QTUM. Looking at Binance derivatives, 24-hour trading volume 54.7 billion, 24-hour open interests about 7.7 billion. Looking at the change of the derivatives contract in the past 24 hours, we can see Bitcoin is negative 1.2, about half what Ethereum is on the perpetuals. Going down further, let's have a look at the top gainers. We can see not really much, only 1 over 10%. This is showing a market correction. The 1 over 10 is IOTX. Let's go the other way. We can see the ones over negative 10%. Nia, Atom, Ren, Filecoin, Tomo, Mask, Dodo. Not Dodo, just Mask. What is this showing us? It's showing us that there is not widespread panic in the market. When there's widespread panic, everything goes double-digit negative. They can be fantastic days to buy on. We're seeking to still buy the falling knife. We understand what's happening with China will of course blow over, but we're seeking to take advantage of it. We're preparing to buy $10 at $5, just like the institutions do. The reason that we cover black swan events in the KS model is all about taking advantage of them. Can you imagine in the US liquidity crisis that occurred on the 12th of March 2020? Can you imagine going and scraping up Bitcoin for around $4,000? Be kind of nice, wouldn't it? That's what we're seeking to do. We monitor the markets for black swan activity because it's the best time to get in. We're not fearful. We're not running away from black swans. We embrace them. We love the swans. What we're effectively doing, we're seeking to intersect opportunity and preparation. Zig Ziglar said it really well. Success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. Everything about the early warning system, about getting our community ready to buy capitulation, that is when fortunes are made. Unfortunately, mainstream crypto channels don't tend to talk about it. They talk about diamond hands and what have you. And of course, we understand that because Bitcoin is an animal, it's going up and it cannot be stopped by anyone. Of course, we understand that. But we also understand that we need to think institutionally. We did a poll a couple of days ago. It's on the community tab of YouTube. We said, how are you feeling about crypto today? Around 911 people voted. Fantastic. 54% were bullish, 21% were bearish, and 25% were in cash waiting for a clear direction. I've just put out a new one asking exactly the same questions. I'd love for your feedback. And if you find that you can't get to the community tab, please just leave a comment on YouTube. That's just as good. I'd like to thank our community for their well wishes and get well wishes. I'm feeling a little bit better, just taking it as it comes. And I would also like to thank Vicente and David and Kelly and Pekka for buying me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com. It's so nice of you. Thank you very much, everyone. And to our incredible community for supporting each other, answering each other's questions, creating a sense of family. It's so beautiful. I always do my best to read every single comment. When I give a like, a thumbs up and a heart, it means that I've read your comment. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who comments. I appreciate all of the comments. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from, and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video as well. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.